Hi and hello watch fans, and welcome back to Geneva Watch Days 2025 in the Pavilion Exhibition Centre. We are here with Hugo, Lesizza from Perrelet and Leroy, or for my English speaking friends who have no elegance in their pronunciation, Perrelet and Leroy. So you can Google it very easily. There you go, Leroy is what you're looking for there. Hugo, welcome to the Glass Igloo. It's a very comfortable temperature today. We're all having a nice time together. David is here, of course, to talk to us. If these two slip into French, please excuse them because there is passion here. There is fire. David has been a fan of Perrelet for a long, long time, and he talks about it endlessly. But today we're going to let him talk to the man himself. So let's get on with it. David.
So bonjour, Hugo. We're going to start off strongly here. Okay, so I love French watchmaking. I have a list of a dozen French watchmakers. I keep a running tally. I'll share it with anyone on the show that wants to drop me a line. Hugo, that extends to you, although I'm sure you do all your market research, but happy to share it with you. However, we have Franco-Swiss watchmaking here. So first, I think what would be useful is start by explaining your responsibilities with regards to these two brands. We'll start with Perrelet, do some show and tell, and then spend the most time on the second one because that is truly exciting. So take it away.
So first of all, thank you for having me here. Great pleasure to introduce both of brands. I would start saying that these two brands belong to a family business owned by a Spanish entrepreneur, Miguel Rodriguez, who's also owner of Festina Group and Sopod watch movement manufacturer. So everything is a family business nowadays, very consolidated. So we have a great know-how, an in-house know-how. Starting with Perrelet, it belongs to us since 2004. As you may know, it has a tremendous story dating back to 1777 when Abraham Perrelet has invented the first automatic movement of the watch industry. Nowadays, we are entirely manufactured because all the movements are produced through the sister company Sopod. So this is a great advantage for us, of course. We have two main features, part of the DNA of the brand. Of course, most of the people know the turbine, which is very dynamic, very high-catching, allowing us to play with thematics, colors. We do a lot of limited edition. We went from oversized watches and now up to more standard sizes, 41 millimeter, with the latest launch, 41 millimeter in titanium we've done recently. And last but not least, one of the most iconic movement we have is the double rotor, patented in 1995 by Perrelet. And we take the opportunity of the Geneva Watch Days to introduce a new jewelry timepiece for ladies. We used to have the diamond flower in the past, and now we are introducing a new generation, Joséphine, linked to Joséphine, the first empress of France, wife of Napoleon, and Cleopatra, the well-known Cleopatra from Egypt, in order to transmit the beauty and the strong characters of these two persons. The idea was really to have something very feminine, very elegant, with the rotor at the front, which is functional. So it is both functional and aesthetical in that case, connected to the movement. So winning the movement at the same time as the oscillating weight at the back. We have made them in titanium in order to be very comfortable, very light, easy to wear on the lady wrist. It is made with natural diamonds. So we have two types of rotor. The one you are showing is the Joséphine, like a kind of a rain of diamond. We have two versions each time, with bezel with diamond setting or without diamond setting, depending on the budget you have, of course. So it's very elegant, very feminine, and we have 5 different executions in terms of dye colors for each version.
So on the Real Time Show, we always say we like to keep it real. My impressions on this are really good because Perrelet, as someone who's always seen it from the outside, they do come across as you were saying, quite large. And the rotor, dynamic as it is, can make it difficult to read the time. So I think what we have here is a much more manageable watch. Like the bracelet is just super delicate. I like that a lot. And the half rotor keeps that concept alive, but it makes things a lot more legible. So the direction is great. And if you are in the market for just a feminine watch that doesn't look like the others, because this one doesn't, check it out. I think great job to Perrelet.
Yeah, I would wear this. I'm ever more a fan of diamonds as time goes on, and I don't know what that says about me, but I love this. I think it's elegant, it's beautifully executed, and yeah, like David says, the legibility is top drawer. So well done.
Thank you so much.
And I will. So for the people listening, I'm going to pass the second one to Rob to show people who are watching, and I will let Hugo talk about. Actually, yeah. So quick. I'm just going to give a quick personal introduction on this. So as I said, I'm a big fan of French watchmaking. I have always done a lot of research around the industry. French watchmaking was huge. Long story short, the quartz crisis really wiped it out. And it's only recently that some of these smaller brands and big names started to come back. So Leroy, which we're going to hear about, was one that I just could not find anything on. It was on my list early. But these were watches that looked absurdly complicated and existed absolutely no further than one picture on Chrono 24. There was nothing. So I am really, really excited to hear what your involvement has been with this, what the plans are, and then a really, really exciting new novelty that we're going to share with you. So again, take it away, Hugo.
Yeah, this is a great and wonderful challenge with Leroy. It's one of the oldest brands established in Paris in 1785. So this year we do celebrate the 240th anniversary of the brand. So it's a great milestone for the brand. It's belonged to us since 2004. Basically, I work closely with our owner on the direction we want to give to the brand in terms of the new developments. Being, of course, following the DNA of the brand. It was created in Paris. It has a wonderful story. It has been quickly named official watchmaker of the king, French king. Then to the UK court, it producing watches for Queen Victoria at that time. As well, official watchmaker for the French Marine. So that's why we have a very specific DNA. Leroy is known for having produced the most complicated watch with a record in 1989, before Patek Philippe took this award. The watch still exists and is visible to the public at the Musée du Temps in Besançon. So it's a big pocket watch with a 27 complication. It's a wonderful timepiece. We do have a tremendous treasure in hands because we have a private museum, like a 200 antique watches. From pocket watches to our clocks and marine watches, of course. We have 400,000 archives with sales records from the beginning of the 19th centuries. So this is a great brand, and it's we really wanted to make a revival for the 240th anniversary. That's why we are proposing a very high-end complication. So we are back with Val du Temps collection. It's a tourbillon miniature beater skeleton. The one we have in hand is the titanium version. It's the first time ever we are introducing new materials because historically Leroy was only proposing solid gold, white gold, rose gold, yellow gold, and we want it to be more contemporary, more modern. So we are back with a 3 execution, titanium, platinum, and gold. And we made a very nice finishing and decoration on the movement, more modern than in the past. It's a frosted, sandblasted bridge. But in the past, it was more traditional. It was more traditional Côte de Genève, let's say. And the idea was as well to, at the same time, be modern, but to maintain the DNA. So we have the same case shape. We have the same typical figures. We have the same shape for the hands. And we have very nice buckle with the signage of the brand, the double L of L Leroy. So basically, this is the new baby we're introducing during the Geneva Watch Day 2025.
So first thing I'll give you a heads up is because this is a minute repeater, we are going to, when we end this, we're going to end it on a high note and we're going to let you play the minute repeater. So please, Sean, set it to the time you would like to have it.
Make sure you wind it.
Very cool. Cue that up. One thing I'll say while Hugo's doing that is that French design, and I say this with the utmost affection, is iconic, but it can also be somewhat divisive. But what I think that watch does really well is that to me, it's a French watch. It's a French watch, but it still has this very sort of, what's the word? Like classic design characteristics. So I think it does everything that you described. Basically, it's an excellent technical watch, correct? But it's French, and to me, again, I'm highly biased to this. It's a French watch.
Exactly. It's French roots, definitely. The design we have here is inspired from the previous Osmio collection we used to have in the years 2010, 2014, more or less, which was already inspired from an antique pocket watch with a typical Clou de Paris guilloche, which is one of the main signatures as well of the brand. Of course, here there's a skeletonized version, but with the novelties we have in the pipeline to be released before the end of the year, we have something new. So you have to stay tuned for the coming things. Everything is linked to the roots and to the original pieces we had. So it's not something we are inventing, of course. We want something we want to maintain the DNA of the brand, definitely.
And so just to be clear, if I understood you, this project with Leroy is not going to end with this watch. We're going to see it branch out into a universe, I guess you could say. Is that correct?
Exactly. So the first stage is to develop the Osmio collection, which is the classic line we have in the collection. We already have several new complications in development in the pipeline to be released, at least already two. In addition to the existing one we're introducing during the Geneva Watch Days. We are working on new projects, new complication. Due to the legacy and the positioning of the brand, we really want to target high complication to collectors because it is part of the essence and the DNA of the brand, once again. And as you mentioned, it's very important to say as well that we have French origin. The previous collection used to be produced in Besançon, closed with a partnership as well with the Observatoire de Besançon for the certification chronometer. But nowadays, we have to admit that we have relocated the production in Geneva because it's difficult nowadays to find the resources and the know-how, the savoir-faire in Besançon in France. So for us, it was easier, we have to say it, and we have to admit that to relocate the production in Geneva. So these watches are nowadays 100% made in Geneva.
Okay. Although, who knows? Maybe we could talk for a long time about French watchmaking and capacity. So who knows? One thing I will say, just funny story, is that one thing I realized a couple days ago was that in the same way that in Silicon Valley, everyone's pitching an app, or in Hollywood, everyone's pitching a script. Here in Geneva, everyone's going to pull watches out of their pockets. And that is exactly what Hugo did when I met him. He said, "Hey, I've got this prototype and want me to show it to you." And it is not a prototype. It is a finished high complication watch that he just pulled out of his pocket and presented to me. And in the course of that conversation, of course, I was not the only one that had seen it this way. You have shown it to collectors.
Mm-hmm.
What's been their reaction so far on this first unveiling?
So really positive. People, of course, were kind of emotion to rediscover Leroy, because everybody was expecting to see the brand to be back. We had several attempts in the past, and at the end, it took time to develop the new collection. So very positive. People amazed by the sound of the tourbillon miniature that we are proposing. Of course, in that case, the titanium case and the skeletonized version of the movement helps a lot to have a very clear and very nice sound, crystalline in French. So it's very interesting. But I would just add something regarding the French watchmaking. We are really linked to France in the group because in the group, we do own as well, so Proud movement manufacturer, and we recently relaunched Français Bosch. So we are producing French movement, of course, on another price range, but with a very nice finishing movement. So we are supplying many independent French brands since a few years already. So the French watchmaking is part of our DNA in the group, definitely.
Yeah, look, for those listening or watching, I have no insight into what they are doing internally, but projects like this, they excite me personally because I think they're just great watches. I think we need to start with that. But the more places that can make great watches, the better off we are. And the more places that used to make great watches that are now revived, I think the better off we are. And Frank's was one of those. It is crazy to me that being so close to Switzerland and Geneva, that hasn't happened more quickly. But I think that this is the type of project that can work, because it's one thing for a startup to say, I'm going to revive French watchmaking. It's another for someone like you and your organization that have actual resources to help me do it as well. So there's the artistic side of me that's excited. And there's also just the fact that, yeah, I think in 5, 10, 15 years time, we might actually get somewhere because of stuff like this. Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay. This is a very strange thing to bring up, but You may not tell from the way that we're dressed today because, of course, we're dressed for the environment in which we exist, but David and I are both fans of men's fashion. I notice you're wearing sleeve garters on the shirt there to keep your sleeves short. That's a sign. If I see someone wearing those, I'm like, okay, this is a particular man that understands like how to dress, how to present themselves, and it always speaks volumes of like the diligence that you apply to other areas of your life. So bear in mind, people, if you ever see someone wearing sleeve garters and you know that they're going to make a good watch. Now, before we check out, let's just listen to this wonderful sound. There you go. For those of you listening on audio only, I'm sure that was a real treat. And for those of you watching us on the video, thank you for tuning in. We will be back very shortly with more content from Geneva Watch Days 2025. Hugo, thank you so much.
No, thanks so much. Thanks a lot.